Hi guys and welcome to another video. So last night England scraped in the most dramatic of fashion, scraped a win against Tunisia 2-1. So I thought I'd make a video and sort of dissect the performance and just sort of talk you through it and give my opinions on the game. So we come out in the first 10 minutes and I thought, yes England, we're smashing it, we're making chance after chance after chance, we're missing chance after chance after chance given. But we did eventually make the breakthrough with Kane, and at this point, I was at my mates watching it. We had quite a few of us watching it, and I was thinking, we need to get 3-4 now. Belgium have just beat Panama 3-0. We need to get the goal difference. We need to get that on our side, and we looked like we could easily do that. We were absolutely smashing him for the first 10-15 minutes, but to be honest, as soon as we scored that goal, we just stopped. Completely stopped. Every ounce of creativity just seemed to disappear. It was like we just thought, we'd settle for it. It was ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, possession-wise, we were sort of keeping hold of the ball, but there was no sense of urgency at all. That disappeared literally from that moment, and I think for the majority of the game, that happened. It was absolutely ridiculous. For the opening 10-15 minutes, we were pressing high, which was really, really good. I was loving to see that. There was players making movement off the ball. But as soon as that goal went in, we looked clueless. We really did, and I don't know what was wrong with the defenders as well. I don't know whether you noticed for sort of the first half an hour or first half even, they couldn't string a pass together. It was ridiculous. Kyle Walker, John Stones especially, they couldn't pass it directly to another player. It was miles off. They either had to bloody run to collect the shite pass that they'd just done. But I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the ground, the floor, or they got the wrong studs on or what, but they just seemed to be hitting the ball, passing the ball with the underside of the boot, and it was just going aimlessly. I didn't know what the hell was going on with that. I don't know whether it was nerves or what, but I picked up on that, and it would just sort of piss me off a little bit. But anyway, so Tunisia managed to find their way back into a game through a penalty, and what the hell was Kyle Walker doing? What the hell was he doing at first? Obviously, because we didn't really notice it. The ball was whipped in. It was way too far for Walker to get to it. There was no other Tunisia player about. There was one on the back of Walker, but he had no chance of getting to this ball. Completely went past a lot of him, and it was just going to go out harmlessly. But what the hell is Walker doing? He's just swung around with his elbow and just whacked this. Well, not whacked, I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but he swung around his elbow and he has connected with the Tunisian player. Why on earth would you do that? I know when you're jumping for a ball, jumping for a header, your arm movements do go. You do raise your arms a little bit, but not like that. What the hell are you playing at, man? It's such a big stage to do something as stupid and as daft as that. That was just playground error. That schoolboy error that from bloody Kyle Walker, who, by the way, I'm a massive fan of. I think he's one of the best right backs in the world, and I've actually really enjoyed seeing him as this sort of centre-back that Gareth Southgate has sort of made him into. I think he's been absolutely fantastic there, but that was just such a rookie error and just such a stupid mistake, and unfortunately he did put the penalty away. Pickers couldn't quite get there. He did guess the right way. I think maybe he could have done a little bit better. I think if he did jump off his line to make that dive, I think he might have had a better chance of stopping that. He did get a hand to it, but unfortunately it did go in. He did well enough to even get a touch to it, but it weren't directly in the corner like a lot of people were saying. If you look, it wasn't really. But, unlucky to Pickford. He couldn't really done too. There was quite a bit of power behind the strike. And he did well enough, I suppose, to even guess the right way. But it did go in, and that's 1-1. So I'm thinking we're going to fight back for this. We've got the occasional half chance, nothing too much. But let me get onto the referee. The referee had a frigging nightmare. I'm telling you, I've never seen a worse referee. But the amount of times Kane was literally wrestled to the ground when it comes to set pieces before the ball's played in or drawing whilst the ball's in midair. How he has not seen some of them was absolutely ridiculous. I thought we were watching rugby at one point, but that just makes me question, what's VAR for? I know what it is, obviously with VAR, if the referee thinks there's absolutely no chance of a decision being given, he doesn't have to look at VAR. But when he thinks, that there might be a half chance at something that's happened there, he should look to VAR. And you can see that from a mile off. a good 2 or 3 times with Kane. How on earth a penalty wasn't given was absolute, and that was happening all night. In Tunisia as well, there was a time there was that fella on the floor, I can't remember any of the names to be fair, apart from Kazri, and he's just an arsehole anyway. But he's rolling around on the floor and the camera catches him, and he's pissing himself, he's laughing, and as soon as the referee comes close to him, he wipes a smirk off his face, covers his face again, and starts acting like he's in agony, the absolute knobhead. Then half-time comes, I'm thinking, Southgate, you need to dig into these players, get him back firing again, because at the beginning of that first half, you looked absolutely quality, and then, you know, the mood just completely shifted for some reason. It was almost like we give up, like I said. But the second half come about, and it was just the same old crap. It was absolutely horrendous. It really was. And Ali, as well, you could see just before half-time that he did pick up a bit of a knock. And after the game, Southgate had said that he had spoke with Delhi, and he said, you know what, I've picked up a bit of a knock, but I'm fine to carry on going. I'm fine to carry on going. If that was me as manager, I'd say there's not a chance of going back on. Why would we risk him in a game against Tunisia when we've got the likes of Belgium coming home? Even though Dele Alli, by the way, he had an absolute shocker of a game. Why would you risk him anyway? We know Ali does have that quality. He can be a very, very good player. But in this particular game, he was playing shocking, and then he's picked up a knock. So why would you continue to play him? Bring Rashford on then. Do you know what I mean? Replace Rashford, maybe drop Sterling back a little bit off as a sort of attacking midfielder, and then play Rashford up with Kane, because he's brilliant down the centre, Rashford. But anyway, that's by the by. Ali stayed on the pitch, and there was just no creativity again. Tunisia, don't get me wrong, when you're playing teams like Tunisia who are just going to sit back and defend and absorb pressure, it is very, very hard to get between the lines or nick behind the defender. It's incredibly hard because they're playing such a structured line at the back that it is very hard to sort of penetrate and get in behind. But the movement of the ball just still wasn't there, because I know when England play bigger teams, I think they were pretty good at the sort of counter-attacking football, but against Tunisia, you're not going to get the opportunity to play counter-attacking football. That's their game, even though, to be fair, their game was just hoofing the ball, giving it back to us and just let us have it. But it's just how lethargic and static we were. I mean, my man of the match, to be fair, was Kieran Trippier, because every time he got the ball, he tried to make something happen. But the second we get in that final third, everyone stood still. And there was several times as well when Ashley Young, he got down that left-hand side, coming onto his right, and we know how good he is at those in-swinging crosses, and this is what really started to piss me off. He got down to that byline a few times, come back inside or around the edge of the box, that sort of area, come back onto his right, and he's one of the best at one of those in-swinging crosses. We've seen him do it at United, he's done it for years, and he's really, really good with them, but as soon as he got into those positions, Harry Kane's bloody miles away, Sterling's miles away, and they're just walking slowly towards the area. You should be busting your gut, man. You're playing for England in the World Cup. Bust your gut to get into the box and maybe just beat the offside trap and let him just drift one in, bend one in like he does. There was no movement. I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was absolutely dire. When someone had the ball, Hendo, he might pick up the ball, and I think Hendo actually did have a half-decent game, mainly in the first half. The second half, I think, he was just too backwards for me. You know, every time I got the ball, playing the ball backwards, but I don't think that's massively down to him. Ali weren't making the movement. Lingard weren't making the movement. Someone should be screaming, you know, give the ball to me, pass and move and go. And there was just no movement at all. When someone's got the ball, say Hendo, he's got it in that sort of holding midfield role. No one was making themselves open. He has nowhere to go. They're just walking around. You can see Sterling and Kane just walking around across the line, doing absolutely nothing, just waiting for something to happen or waiting for something to pop up to them. And it's not going to happen in that kind of game when you've got Tunisia who are defending for their lives, even though they didn't have much to defend because we didn't really do anything. Every now and then we might just whip a ball in and no one's there because Kane and Sterling are still outside the area. You need to get in the box, man. Kane is supposed to be worth bloody, what, 100-odd million now. He looked like he was worth, you know, 10 million. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But then in the final 5 minutes, we seem to wake up. Loftus-Cheek come on. Rashford obviously come on, but when there was about 20-odd minutes left, 25 minutes, whatever. And Loftus-Cheek actually quite impressed me. He looked a bit, I don't know, he reminds me a bit like Lukaku. Not his actual playing style, but that small sort of cameo performance we saw from him last night reminded me of him. He looked like he couldn't really control the ball, but because he's so bulky and strong, defenders just couldn't, you know, they couldn't predict what he was going to do. He looked so unpredictable, and the ball was going the opposite way he wanted to control it. And he did manage to make a couple of decent bombing runs down that right-hand side, and he got us into a few decent positions where, you know, the ball wasn't fantastic. There was one time where they got to the byline and he pulled it back for Rashford, who I thought just smashed the ball, mate. Hit it, just hit it, and he's left the ball to let it roll behind him, and I think it was Lingard who was behind him, and he must have shouted for it, Lingard. He must have shouted for it, because there's no chance in hell that I would expect Rashford to leave that ball. He was point blank range, just let it run through his legs, thinking that someone's going to be behind him to, you know, have a crack. But if Lingard did ask for the ball, I don't understand why. Why did he ask to leave it when he's marked by like 2 different Tunisian men? Like, why the hell would you ask him to leave the ball? And you can see that is what happened. But anyway, there was just little frustrating moments like that really annoyed me. But the last 5 minutes, we seem to wake up. We seem to want it again out of nowhere. Ball gets whipped in, and there is Harry Kane to nod it in at the last minute. Very good header. And I think the referee was just a bit pissed off because there was no chance that he could have given a free kick for that. He couldn't have in any way disallowed that goal because all night he was just giving them absolutely everything, which were winding me up. You know, likes of Kazri, when he went off, when he got substituted, he took an absolute age to get off, you know, which you kind of expect a bit of time wasting. But they were time wasting from the bloody, you know, the 40th minute, which was pissing me off. But anyway, yes, we did manage to get the win, which was fantastic. I was throwing myself over the furniture, mate. I was going mad when that goal went in. But, you know, if we managed to stick to that opening 10 minutes, like we did see against Tunisia, for the entirety of a game, we can beat teams. We really can beat teams. We look so dangerous when we're playing like that. Pass and move, there's players running left, right and centre, running down the channels, making space, and that's what it looked like the game was going to be. And it just went the complete opposite way. But if we do stick to those kind of tactics and we do play the way we did play in the opening period of that game, I think we'll be alright. And when we are desperate, we did manage to get ourselves a goal, but we should have been long gone in that first half. We should have been long gone. And to be fair, when I saw the statistics afterwards that we had 14, 15, 16 shots or whatever, I couldn't even remember half of them. I couldn't remember half of them because half of them happened in the opening for 15, 20 minutes. But that's my view on the game. I think if we do stick, or we do manage to play the way we played in the opening period of the game, I think we will progress from this group. Hopefully, we do manage to get a few goals against Panama. I think Belgium will quite easily brush aside Tunisia, although I'm hoping now Tunisia gain a little bit of confidence from how long they did manage to hold us off, and then they'll really give Belgium a battle, which is something I expect. So if they manage to get a draw or something with Belgium, or even just a 1-0 loss, you know, we need to go to Panama and just absolutely go all out and just try and smash them, get as many goals as humanly possible. Don't try and settle on the ball after just scoring 1 goal. We need to get this goal difference. But, you know, if we go through either way, first or second. I don't mind as long as we get through. I'm hoping we get to at least, not at least, I'd be happy with a quarter-final finish. I'd be happy with that, sorry. But, yeah, anyway, those are my thoughts on the game. Leave me your thoughts in the comments below. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have enjoyed, like the video and subscribe and all that nonsense. But for now, you take care and stay jamming.